Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. Today we are knitting T3F and T3B. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. We are knitting cables today. It may not sound like a cable. Usually a cable instruction has a C at the beginning. This one starts with a T, and that means we are twisting cables instead of cabling cables. The difference with twisting cables and usual cables is that normal cables go up and down and they are straight along the knitting, up and down as the rows go by. With twisting cables, we're moving stitches across the knitting as well as up the knitting. So that's what we're doing with these twisting cables. We're able to create the impression that the knitting stitches are moving out and then they're moving back in again. If you want to get to grips with that kind of cabling, then you're in the right place. Let's get straight to the demo. I'll show you more of this blanket afterwards. This is the rollover blanket from the knitting kit and the digital pattern in our shop. And I'll also let you know more about the yarn declutter that's starting in April as well. Let's start with a demo though. T3F and T3B. Alright, with the T3B and the T3F, we are twisting stitches. We are switching the 3 up into a 2 and a 1. So the 2 stitches are the knit stitches. Those are the ones that we see here. They are twisting to the right and to the left and making this interesting shape here. And the first one we're going to do is T3B. We hold the purl stitch on the cable needle at the back. So that is the single stitch. And then the other part of the 3 is the 2 stitches and they are knitted. There we go. We then purl the purl stitch from the cable needle. There you go. So the first one we're going to do is T3B. We hold the purl stitch on the cable needle at the back. So that is the single stitch. And then the other part of the 3 is the 2 stitches and they are knitted. There we go. We then purl the purl stitch from the cable needle. There you go. So then that has shifted. We have the 2 stitches from the twist moving in front of the single purl stitch from the twist. Okay, so I've knitted the next stitch already and I'm ready to show you the twist, the T3F. So I'm going to put 2 stitches, these are the 2 knit stitches, on the cable needle and hold them at the front. So that's 2 of the 3. The 3rd stitch I'm going to purl. And then the 2 stitches on the cable needle I will knit, and they have moved at the front of the cable. They've moved at the front of the knitting to the left. There you go. The T3F. So I'm going to put 2 stitches, these are the 2 knit stitches, on the cable needle and hold them at the front. So that's 2 of the 3. The 3rd stitch I'm going to purl. And then the 2 stitches on the cable needle I will knit, and they have moved at the front of the cable. They've moved at the front of the knitting to the left. There you go. So that is T3B and T3F. You may also find these described as T3 right and T3 left, because that's describing how the main feature is moving rather than the purl stitches are moving. Great, you can now do twisting cables. And yes, there are more instructions for more stitches when you're moving them in different ways. And whenever they're in patterns that are in the knitting kits and patterns, then I'll be able to share them with you on YouTube as well. But those that's just the start. This is how you twist your cables, and that's how we make the space for the bobble in the middle. And you saw the bobble instruction last week. Do go and have a look at that if you didn't see it. This is for this rollover baby blanket. You can use the bobble tutorial for that, and also the bobble tutorial is ideal for, believe it or not, the bobble baby blanket. So we use the bobbles all the way around the border on this one. There you go. So this knitting kit, the rollover baby blanket, is quite a large one because you can not only knit the baby blanket, that takes 3.5 balls of yarn. We have a half ball left to knit a hat as well, a newborn baby hat. This is a perfect gift for a newborn baby. Parents will absolutely love this. Now this is knitting in cotton. We use Wool and the Gang shiny happy cotton. So you just pick your colour as you go through checkout with the knitting kit. So I did want to tell you about the yarn declutter. The yarn declutter is happening through April. We'll start after Easter. And the whole idea of the yarn declutter is that we not only declutter our yarn, but we gently, one step at a time, look at the yarn, figure out how we want to store it, whether that wants to change at all, how we want to arrange and organise our yarn, and then we'll move through the decluttering of the yarn and where does it go, what do we want to do with it if we don't want it anymore. And then of course I will help you declutter your patterns, your needles and your tools as well. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. You can now twist your cables. I do hope you'll join me next week. Bye for now. Happy knitting.